Hi everybody. So today I thought I would show you my collection of mini and pocket cards. So I'm going to show the mini cards first, my least favorite to my most favorite, and then I will go to the pocket cards. So my first deck, which I actually am probably going to get rid of. I'm going through a clean out of my decks. Um, But this has been a nice deck for me. It's the Mini Conley Tarot. Okay, you can see I've had it for a while. The cats have enjoyed it. This is 1989, so this is probably just $10. It's probably worth something, and I may be getting rid of this. But um, all of these decks that I'm going to show you, practically all of them, I have the large size too as well. But I have small hands, so I always enjoy the smaller size, and I thought I would bring out just a regular size card so you could see the difference in sizes. I don't know, this Conley deck, it's a really pretty deck. It's got beautiful colors. It's a little some people have called it Christian, like for instance, here it has materialism instead of the devil and stuff like that. So it's a little, whoops, sorry about that. It's a little white bread for me. But you know, if you like the colors and stuff, it's a beautiful deck. But also this little mini deck was just the cards were too small. I'm getting to the point where I just don't like the really tiny mini decks. But I mean, it really does have some beautiful colors and some beautiful artwork. Um, and I haven't decided to get rid of the larger deck yet or not. But anyway, so that's the Mini Conley Tarot. And you can see the difference in the size here. It's a pretty small deck. I mean, these are fine. These really small decks are fine for putting in your purse and taking around and stuff. But I don't know, if they get too small, I don't know. I like to be able to see the pictures on them. But anyway, that I've had forever. Okay, then my next is the Universal Tarot, as opposed to the Universal Weight. Again, all of these decks I got, well, most all of these decks I got quite a while ago, but it's a nice deck. It's not Pam's artwork. Comes with a little white book. It's not Pam's artwork, but it's got that kind of soft feel of the Universal Weight, but it has different pictures. You can see a little bit difference in the pictures. Clothing is different. Let's get some more right side stuff here. So I think it's a nice deck. They also have a regular size deck now that's a golden universal, which looks really nice. Like I say, I have the large size of all these decks, but I like the mini sizes. I mean, the smaller sizes. Mini, I'm not going to get too much anymore. My next one is the Illuminated Tarot. It comes in, actually, this comes in 3 sizes. This comes in a mini size, a medium size, and then a larger size. This you can't get on Amazon or anything like that. You have to get it directly from, I think her name is Carol Herzog. This is one of the first ones before she came out with a lot of different other decks, but I think this deck is just beautiful. Now, the cardstock on here, really thin, really glossy, because I think she prints these out herself. And she actually does a very nice job of it. I wouldn't like this cardstock otherwise, but it's worth it just to have the colors and stuff here. It's just a beautiful deck. Look at this. Whoops, but you can see how glossy it is. So that's the illuminated tarot. There's the, oh, she didn't call it the Hermit, she called it the Guide. Again, I'm fond of that. So yeah, oh, I love this one. Okay, and again, you can see how small these are in my hands. So compared to a regular deck. So, and that these don't come in a box. These come in these little bags that she makes. I'm trying to find another. I have another bag for it. I'm trying to find another box for it, though. These are a little difficult to get in and out. But I like that deck. And then the Pagan Cats Tarot. You know, you gotta love it because, well, it's cats. Again, I have the full size of this, but this is, let's see, most of these are upside down here. If you like cats, there's the Death card. I think this is just a beautiful deck. This is one of my favorite cat decks. I love the Mystical Cat deck as well. I'm not sure if they make a smaller size, but I'm just one of those people that every time I buy a deck, I end up having to buy the smaller size as well. Again, these are a little bit bigger than some of these other decks. Like, for instance, here's the Mini Conley, which I feel like is too small for me. Even that, look at the difference between that. So this is a little bit more acceptable to me. As far as size goes, you can see the pictures a little bit more. Here it is compared to a regular card. Okay. But yeah, I do like this deck. And but you know, when you do these smaller, these really mini decks, when they get really, when the images get really complex and there's a lot in them, it's a little harder with the smaller decks to see. But that's why I like the pocket ones. But this one I don't mind so much. Okay. And then going into my two favorites, a lot because of history. One, again, is the really small mini size, but it's one of the original Albano decks. I don't have the box for it anymore. I will never forgive one of my tarot teachers who said, yeah, just write all over your cards and throw away the box. So I have these beautiful old decks that I've written on and drawn on and gotten rid of the box and stuff, and this would be worth a lot more if I still had the deck, but I mean the box. But yeah, here we have, you know, the beautiful Albano color, which and you can see that's just been from use. That's not a vintage made deck. It's just from use. I used this deck a lot early on, when it was really one of the only decks that was recolored. You know, there was the yellow box deck when I first started, which actually my first deck was the University Books. But yeah, not a lot of recolored clones at the time, but this is beautiful colors. That's a great deck. I don't know what the card stock is like now. If you were to buy an Albano deck or a mini deck, you know, through Amazon or something, but this was nice matte cardstock and stuff like that. And then, of course, there is the deck that I used forever and ever when I first started. I do still have a little white book on this one, but this is just this yellow box mini tarot. And like I say, I took a class with this one and she had me write all over them. I don't even use astrology, but colored men and stuff. But I love this deck. And this one is a little bit bigger, you know? I mean, this one is, it's still small, easy enough to carry around in your purse, you know, as opposed to something like the Conley deck, again, or that mini Albano. So here's, let's see, it doesn't look like it's too much different, but it does make a difference in the feel. And here it is compared to the standard deck. Okay, but yeah, it's just a classic deck. So that's got to be one of my favorites. You can see how big it is from use. All right, and again, really, really wish I had the box on that, and really wish I hadn't written and drawn on this and stuff like that. But you don't know until you learn. I got bad advice. All right, so now I'm going to talk about the pocket-sized decks. And this one was not intended to be the pocket size. They don't say it's a pocket size, but basically it is. Okay, the Hanson Roberts. And again, this is a very old printing of this. I've had this from Tower Records. But it is that smaller size. So I do still have the little white book. Here's the back. Oh, I haven't even been showing you the back. Sorry about that. But yeah, I mean, you look at the difference between this and a regular deck. It's not too much different, but it's just small, you know, different enough to make it a little bit easier for those of us who have smaller hands. But this, of course, is, you know, a classic deck and really beautiful, beautiful artwork. It's kind of like a zoomed in version of Pamela's artwork. Four of Swords, that's an interesting one. Right side up. So anyway, that's Hanson Roberts. I think she's the same person who drew the Universal Weight. Okay. Get rid of this over here. Then there's the Radiant, which everybody's familiar with. Again, like I say, I have the large deck of all of these, except for the very last one, and I'll tell you why. But this one comes in a beautiful tin. I think the only thing I don't like about the Radiant, I don't mind borders, but for this one, it just seems, because the words are in the borders, it just seems like the borders kind of overpower it. And I don't feel that way with the larger deck, but I do in this deck, so I don't use this deck much. It's not one of my favorite pocket decks, but it's, you know, I mean, if that doesn't bother you, of course, the images, the colors are just gorgeous on this deck. I didn't realize, though, until just a little while ago, that this is not a Pam made deck. I'm not sure what it is. I don't know. It doesn't exactly look like a Pam B to me. I don't know if it's just a redrawing or if it's a Pam B or C or something. Maybe somebody can tell me. But it doesn't look like it certainly doesn't look like a Pam A to me. Yeah, and it certainly doesn't have a little oh shit line. So, but beautiful colors. And if you like that look and you want something to carry around in your purse, carry around with you, then this is a great deck. I know some people edge their decks. I've never had the courage to do that. And love that it comes in the tin. There's the backs. Sorry I didn't show you the backs of the rest of them. Maybe I'll do that at the end. Oh, and you can see here the difference here. So small enough to make it more comfortable. All right. And then there's this. I believe maybe I got these through drive-through cards. This is the Pam's Vintage Tarot, and this is the bridge size. Again, they have the regular tarot size. This comes with several extra cards of Pam's. Just her artwork. And sometimes I'll just stick them in there and read them. That one's pretty famous. And then there's her title card. But what I love about these is, oh my God, the linen. I mean, you can see there's hardly any shine on there. And it's a linen feel, and I just love them. Love, love, love. But no, they don't have the words and the numbers and stuff like that. But this is just a beautiful, beautiful vintage deck. As vintage decks go, I think this is my favorite. Yeah, beautiful deck. Okay. Again, I think you can get these still on drive. I don't know if it's Lucky Cards or drive-through cards. I'll try and remember to put that down in the, put that down in the information. And then again, we go back to my classic, one of my very, very first decks that somebody had me throw the box away and write on. At least I didn't color these ones. But this again is the pocket size. Interesting, you can see the difference here. This is legitimately a 70s deck. This is from the 90s, I believe from the 90s. So you can see the difference in the color there. Always interesting to see the difference in the color between these decks. But anyway, this is just, you know, I have to say this is one of my favorite pocket decks. Yeah, for sentimental value. I wouldn't, you know, there's other ones that I love the colors and stuff, but, you know, I've had these forever, so wish I could find a box for them. I did find a box for my University Books deck on eBay. Somebody was just selling the boxes. It was really a trip. Now, love, this was my go-to deck for years and years and years. I don't know if this deck, I don't know if the cardstock, what the cardstock is like on the current decks that you buy now. This was from 2004, it looks like. But this is the universal weight, which, you know, everybody is familiar with. Most people are familiar with it. But I think that was, recolored by that same person that did Hanson Roberts. But this, you can see how thick this deck is because of my use, how much it's been used. This is just a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful deck. One of my favorites. I read with this for forever. There's the size. Here's the backs. Love the backs. Okay. There's that. And it comes in this, well, at least when I bought it, came in this wonderful box. I think they come in tins now, but I'm not sure, but I think you might be able to still get it in this box. But now they come in these kinds of tins. Okay. And now my two really favorite ones, and that is the Pocket Smith-Waite Centennial, which comes in this beautiful tin, has these gorgeous backs. You know, I said that this one was my favorite vintage. You know, I guess you can call this vintage. I think that's kind of what it's supposed to be, but I don't really kind of put it in the same category. But this is just, this is becoming one of my favorite decks. Look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? Just got that slight tinge to it, original feel. I don't know. Some people think that this looks too tea stained. I don't know. To me, I just think it looks beautiful. But you know what? Everybody's different. Everybody's got a different thing. It's all personal preference. And last but not least, certainly not least, this is my new favorite pocket-sized deck. And one of the things that I like about it is that it's not the same size as a regular pocket deck. So here's the back, and this is the Radiant Wise Spirit Tarot. Now, I don't have the US full-size version of the Radiant Wise Spirit. I have a Dirty Pam, and I have the UK version that you get with the Total Tarot magazine, which is basically a reissue of the Dirty Pam, that they have these borders. I am not fond of the large size of this because of the way they did the borders. The way they took off the borders. It's like they enlarged it somehow, and it just looks odd to me. So I do not like it. That's the only one of these that I don't have the full size deck, but I do have, in fact, let me show you. I do have the original Dirty Pam, which you can tell because it's got the dark brown table. And I have this deck, which is the Total Tarot, which comes in the Total Tarot magazine, which you can't get in the US, but I got it off eBay. So you see that the backs are the same. And I'll show you the difference in the size between these. But also between these, because Los Scarabeo makes their cards they're same size height, but they're just a little bit thinner, which actually I like. They're just a little bit thinner than the US Games cards. And I think that's pretty common with them. But maybe that's why these are, let me get these size out. Why these are, well, actually, that's not the same size at all. So these are smaller than a regular pocket-sized deck, but they're bigger than a mini deck. So here's the smallest of the mini. Here's the Radiant Wise Mini. And here's the Pocket US Games. And to me, the difference between this and this is absolutely the perfect size. it feels big enough. Let me get rid of these guys here. Hang on. Where does that go? That goes there. It feels big enough that you can see the images. And oh my God, and the colors in this deck are so beautiful. I just love, love, love this deck. That's why the Dirty Pam is so coveted. Aren't those beautiful images, coloring? Let's see that. You get the feel of that it's nighttime. That star. I mean, if you're going to get the Radiant Wise, I think you get the smaller one. You get the mini size so that you can, there's something about the borders. There's something that the borders make this stuff stand out. I don't like the way that they cut the borders off of the large size. But anyway, the size of these, they're big enough that you can see the pictures really well as opposed to those little tiny cards. And perfect to shuffle, perfect to lay out. You can, it's great if you're doing stuff on YouTube, great if you're carrying it around. I can't say enough good about this deck. So, okay, so there are my, there's my collection of my mini and pocket decks. That was the Radiant Wise. I'm going to quickly show you the backs of these cards that I didn't show you before. The Conley deck. Here's the back of the Conley deck. As I know, I'd like to see the backs of decks. The back of the Albano Waite. The back of the Universal Tarot. Okay, not my favorite. And the back of, oh yeah, this one was the one back. It's the standard back for the yellow mini deck. And then of course the Pagan Cats back that's pretty cool. Pagan Cats. Okay. So I hope you've enjoyed this. If you did, please hit that like button, and hopefully you will subscribe. I'm just getting started here, so just getting my channel going. So if you like it, you want more, please like and subscribe, and I will see you again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.